when you learn how to enjoy being underestimated, it gets real good. What up, vlog? Morning. It's Tuesday, 24th of July. Headed to go see some executives at a Fortune 500 company. Just on my hustle, my grind. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to everybody on YouTube and Facebook for watching the vlog. It means the world to me. I appreciate the attention. I appreciate the community, all the comments we're reading. A big shout out to everybody who timestamps and says this is fire. It's leading to us making a lot of great content. So just thank you so much. Really just appreciate the community. Thank you so much. Instagram story people. I got one thing to say. You got one fucking life. Do something with it. So many of you living your life based on somebody else's opinions. So crazy. Stop it. There's not gonna be a single convenience store in America in 20 years. Like, we're thinking about things in 20 and 40 year windows, not in 5,000 year windows. Like, social time at the store, really? You'll find other things to do. You know, and by the way, ready for this, and this will make sense to you. If you are a person that thinks social time at the store is a thing, you'll be able to go to the store. It's not like there's not gonna be stores, it's just that leases are gonna have to change, dynamics are gonna have to change, experiences are gonna have to change. Like, fuck these supermarkets and big box retail. They didn't exist in 1947. You went on the main street. Like, go read everything said about supermarkets and big box retail. It's all the same shit. We hold the past on a pedestal and we demonize the future. I'm trying to get my kids to have more screen time, not less. I want the logical answer of why we should limit our kids' screen time. Not the, you didn't grow up that way. The logical. What world do you think they're gonna live in? What's up, my guy?
You see my life, brother. I'm doing this because of you. I have a business I just started. I just bought myself that camera, spent like $20,000. I'm here working because of you, because you told me to work a 40-hour job until I could be like, fuck this, and do my own thing.
My guy. What's your name?
David.
David. It's a real pleasure meeting you, man.
David, my name is Dominante.
Dominante.
I'm an artist. You'll see me soon.
I can't wait. Such a pleasure to meet you.
So
How are you?
I'm well,
Good.
thank you.
How are you, partner? Good to see you. All good? I was at 84,000 followers on Instagram 18 months ago, after being on it for 5.5 years. 84,000. I don't think I'd be at 3.6 million if I thought about how to get from 84,000 to 100,000.
Because you're genuine.
Correct.
People are smart when it comes to genuine.
And you know what's funny? They're smart in the end.
Yeah.
They're not so smart in the beginning. People fall for, sizzle a lot.
Okay.
I sandbag myself because I'm so in the long game.
Yep.
Like Andy and like my team, like the biggest complaint this little squad has is like, when can we start making the content more about you being smart? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just not even a part of my narrative. But you have to understand why, because that's the leverage. I prefer being underestimated by Madison Avenue.
Well,
That's our strength.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People still to this day, after everything that's out there in our industry, think VaynerMedia is me with a bunch of interns. Still to this day. I love the romance of me thinking I'm omnipresent and have this incredible EQ, but you can't get high on your own supply. Like, I'm thrilled that I have good intuition and it's helped me scale, fine. But I always think I could be equally as wrong. And you just do the best you can.
You're the man, Gary.
Thank you, my guy.
You are the man.
Thank you.
You're the man.
Thank you, my guy. How are you?
Good.
Sure. This is such a badass post.
Really, that pick in general is great.
Great, right?
And perfect for the quote too.
100%. The copy's fire.
Uh-huh.
The fans, AKA anyone who had an opinion about me, said to me that a website wouldn't work, that email wasn't better than direct mail, that Google ads weren't as good as Yellow Pages, that YouTube was a fad, that Twitter was stupid, that Facebook would never be more than a college app, that an agency was a bad idea, that social media was ridiculous, that voice isn't going to be big.
That's it.
That's it. When you learn how to enjoy being underestimated, it gets real good. I think that, ideology and reality are very, very important. I desperately, a lot of stuff you reference, and anybody here who knows me deeply, I desperately want to bring the most value to entrepreneurship in the world because it put me on. I came from the Soviet Union, we had nothing. Like, the game that got me to where I am today is something I admire and I respect and I love, and I want to give back tremendously to it, and I leave economics on the table all the time for that, but I still publicly always say that I want to buy the New York Jets. It's imperative to have everybody aligned to the reality, and I do think that every organization, every person does have the ability to have selfish wants and needs and selfless acts. Look, we're building what I'd like to call a honey empire, right? The word empire is aggressive. Like, we want to build a very big organization. I love the game of building businesses. But the reason it's called the honey empire is we think we're going to do that through being an HR-driven organization, not a CFO-driven organization. To me, the culture creates continuity. Continuity is something I believe in tremendously because I believe in speed. Speed comes from continuity. Do you know how pumped I get when I get a superstar into my company and she or he also is a bad person? It's a huge win for me because I get to sit in the grass like a cobra and he thinks that I'm gonna look the other way because they're driving revenue. Because they don't realize I can drive way more revenue in one day than they can in their whole lives. And so the perceived leverage they think they have because it worked everywhere else is a massive vulnerability in my company. And when I sense it in an interview, I tell them this. This is the most bizarre. It'd be one thing if I sandbagged it. I actually tell people what I just said to you, literally that visual and clear. And they still don't believe me because they've been conditioned to believe money over everything. So I get pumped. I don't usually fire them right away. I first let them create context amongst the whole company that they are both A, winner, and B, a jerk. And then I fire them. And then everybody gets recalibrated of like, oh shit, right. Honey empire, not empire of honey.